Whoa, fucking hell. It's coffee at the matinee, and I'm sleepy.
That was the longest silent period we've ever had.
I was not expecting that yawn. I'm tired.
I might just keep that 8 seconds in.
All right.
That was a record in
That was
Triple
good.
City
That was
history.
impressive. Yeah. Nobody messed
record.
it up. Anything.
Nope. Dead silence.
Anyway, coffee at the matinee. I'm taking the reins back. Dave led the show last time.
I did.
And this time we're getting back to the formula where he hasn't seen a thing and I've seen a thing.
Nope. I've only heard it in passing.
And we're talking about Midsommar, because it's still midsummer.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Well, that was great timing on their part.
Well, yeah.
They definitely thought that out.
That's the whole idea.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah. That was the whole idea. It was great. I enjoyed it. Are you laughing at my cat?
She's cute.
She's a lard.
She's great. I love her.
Unintentional background noise. Anyway,
back to Midsommar.
Midsommar, which is
What'd you think?
the follow-up to last year's Hereditary, which is probably my favorite film of the year.
Really?
Well, not follow-up, it's the same director.
Same director.
Same director. It's like a spiritual successor.
Huh. Well, it's a good thing I didn't see it, because I should see Hereditary first.
Hereditary was still one of my favorite films of last year.
Ooh.
And I watched it not long before I watched Midsommar, and it still just creeped the fuck out of me.
I'll have to watch it.
So good.
Yeah, it's at the top of your pile.
Mm-hmm. Well, one of my piles. That was rude, Dave.
I'm sorry, I'll turn it off.
Anyway, Midsommar was great. Not as great as Hereditary, but still pretty great. I'll say.
What do you mean?
Hereditary was a little bit tighter in execution. Midsommar was 2.5 hours. And I believe there's a director's cut coming, which is 3.
Holy crap.
It's a slow burn, and I do enjoy a good slow burn. But it's burned a little too long. It's
like they kept the wick very damp.
Yeah, just a bit. Very moist wick.
I got imageries of some tall, lanky man screaming that they killed his dog.
But he's very wet.
Yeah, he's got out of the pool. Well, no, they sprayed him with just a little bit.
He misted him.
They took a mister and they went, tss, 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 like you do to a dog.
Yeah, bad. That sort of thing.
And that's the real reason why he's upset. His socks are moist.
It isn't. Well, to be fair, that's a bad feeling.
Yeah.
It's not a great feeling.
Yeah, I'd go on a murder rampage.
Anyway.
Enough about moist wicks. So what was like the premise? Like what was going? Because Midsummer's kind of vague.
Yeah. Well, to describe it, it's like part cult horror, part culture shock, part breakup drama, part family drama, part like female empowerment movie.
Had a lot of different hats.
There's a lot. There's a lot going on.
Huh.
But yeah, like I said, it opens up with this couple going through relationship issues. The lead actress, Florence Pugh.
Okay. Yeah, I have no
She's
idea.
excellent. She did such an amazing job. Her family dies at the very beginning of the movie.
Starting off on a high note.
I'm not gonna tell you how. Not until we get into spoilers later.
Okay. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Just...
Her family dies. Her and her boyfriend go on this trip that they talked about going on with some of his roommates, his college roommates. They're on the verge of a breakup because he's a piece of shit and she's just fragile. They meet the family of one of the friends because every year they have this midsummer celebration because they're this weird little culty hamlet of Swedish folk.
As some are.
Yeah. As Midsommar. Ah! Yeah. And as the longer they stay with them, the more and more unusual things get.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Probably am, because I didn't see the movie. But there's a movie on Netflix that kind of had this weird beast-looking thing that like had horns. I forgot. And there's 3 guys that went out on a hike. into the middle of the woods.
What?
And like there's this community that sacrifices people to this god, this forest god.
What? What the fuck are you talking about?
It's a movie.
Are you talking about The Ritual?
Yeah, that one.
Okay,
Yeah,
no.
The Ritual. It kind of gave the same vibes to me.
Yeah, like tonally, because the four of those guys, because it was the four guys in The Ritual, and they go on this camping trip because one of their friends had just passed away, and they were going to go with him, but he dies in a shootout at a convenience store.
Yeah.
So they go in this camping trip kind of like in honor of him, and then they kind of run afoul of a Norse god.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like a child of Loki, they describe it as.
Yeah, child of Loki. And then they come into this like community type deal.
Kind of. Not quite. There's no gods.
Okay.
There's no gods, there's no magic. In Midsommar, it's just like crazy people.
Okay.
Crazy people that live their lives based around the seasons, and they live their lives in spans of 18. So like 0 to 18 is spring, you're a child. 18 to 36, you're like a teen-ish, and that's when you go out into the world and learn things, and then 36 you come back, that's when you're an adult, and then, what was it? Hang on, yeah, you're asking somebody with dyscalculia to do math. So, like 30, yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
But like when you reach 72, then you ritualistically kill yourself.
Classy. Okay.
Yeah, well, that's a great scene too. But that scene it wasn't as executed as well as I would have liked. There's some special effects that are a little questionable.
Well, it's an A24 film. It's
right. Like most of the visuals were great, but like this one scene where there's a cliff and there's two old people about to jump off, it looked a little hinky.
Okay.
Yeah. Like there was a similar issue with Hereditary where some of the special effects looked a little hinky. Those like little things because it was literally ants.
Yeah.
So they looked a little out of place, but it was fine.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I get what
it
you're
was
saying.
little bits, but like to do a landscape like this, it took me out of it for a second.
Okay.
Which was impressive for a 2.5 hour movie for me to just get jarred from it.
So, do you mind spoiling anything? I know you usually.
I'll totally spoil.
Alright, so, obvious warnings if you want to see it.
I'll totally spoil.
Turn off this and then come back, please. Don't leave.
Or jump ahead
Or
20
jump
minutes
ahead.
or so.
Yeah. The murder. Like, was that significant in the beginning of the film?
What murder?
The main female character.
Oh, the parent. Okay, so
parents.
It opens with her just trying to get a hold of her sister,
Okay.
who's going through mental issues, and her sister had sent her this very cryptic email.
As one does.
Yeah, it was like that kind of very, I'm going to end things, everything's black, I can't do it anymore, and the sister keeps firing off emails trying to get a hold of her, and eventually she starts trying to get a hold of her parents, still nothing. So you're like, okay, it's fine, because it cuts to the scene of the parents just sleeping. No! Holy shit. So it jumps ahead even more to you find out the sister had sealed off every crevice in the house,
Okay.
turned on both cars in the garage, and funneled the fumes into the parents' rooms, and then duct taped the other one to her face.
Huh.
The visual was horrifying.
Like, even you just describing it.
Because it's just
terrifying.
the parents very cozy in their beds asleep. But the sister, the thing is, the funnel is duct taped to her face. And it's just grim.
Holy shit.
That's how the movie starts. This is maybe the first 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That
Like,
sounds awesome.
Hereditary waited a good bit for its first big gruesome reveal.
Yeah.
Like, you got maybe 20 minutes, half an hour, maybe I'd even say 45 minutes into the movie before, like, the first big... Ugh.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
That...
And then just the Florence Pugh's reaction and subsequent like reactive performance to that, outstanding. Like it was Tony Collette caliber in Hereditary.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
then the movie just gets a little crazier from there.
it's just like a stepladder. You're just going up crazy.
And it's not like nothing is like too big of a reveal because a lot of things are kind of telegraphed along the way.
Yeah.
So nothing is like a huge surprise. It's just kind of who it happens to is the surprise, I guess.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. So among all the things I described it as being like, it's a great horror movie, but it's also like one of the best breakup relationship dramas I've seen because of so many of the little things that it captured and portrayed were just a little too real.
Like along the lines of the two main characters.
Yeah, Florence Pugh and her boyfriend, just you can see that they're on the decline. He's not remembering things about their relationship. He's starting to look at other women, and she's catching him.
Okay.
It's just little things in the performances that sell it.
So it's a very detail oriented type film where there's a lot going on, and
it's meticulous.
And you can watch it in a couple different ways.
Yeah, you get lost in it real easily, and it's just like from the trailers, it's just constantly day. Mm-hmm. And you just get lost in the constant sun.
That is a confusing statement.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in the movie, is it always day?
Pretty much.
Huh.
During the city parts, like before they get to the little hamlet, it's night. And then just day happens, and day doesn't go away.
Holy symbolism back in.
Yeah. And then there's like neat little horror bits, like more traditional horror bits, like somebody shows up wearing one of the students' faces.
Huh.
Yeah.
Very Hannibal Lecter.
That was great. And then there's a bit where another student is flayed alive. So he's suspended in midair, his arms are stretched out, his back is cut open, and his lungs have been removed.
Okay.
And they're still pumping.
It almost looks like I'm getting an imagery of like a bat, almost.
Yeah, more or less.
That kind of reminds me of
like you don't think he's alive until you get closer and you just see the lungs going, and you're like, dear fucking Christ. He doesn't have eyes, flowers are in his eye sockets, and his lungs are still just slowly going.
It kind of reminds me of the TV show Hannibal. Like the level of gore and meticulous gore.
There's a similar scene in Silence of the Lambs. Like one of the prison guards is killed and like mounted on his prison cell.
Yeah.
With his chest cut open and the skin spread out like an angel. Yeah. It's a similar image.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Okay. Now.
But it's done like intermittently throughout.
Okay.
It's not like a Saw movie where it's just gore, 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 gore. Yeah. It's spaced out enough that it's gonna shock you.
Yeah. Now, from a little bitch.
You.
Yeah. Me, who is not that great with horror movies and jump scares and the such.
No jump scares.
No jump scares whatsoever.
No jump scares. Like I said, it's a slow burn.
Slow burn.
It's a slow burn, and it's not horror. Like, it's not Blumhouse horror.
Yeah.
It's almost Lovecraftian in that it's like everybody's losing their fucking minds.
Okay.
Because you're already dealing with... Some characters have mental illnesses, that they're dealing with depression, anxiety, that sort of thing. And then, like I said, just the constant daylight is throwing off circadian rhythms. So you're not sleeping, your body's not resetting and recharging, and you're just slowly going insane. And to top it off, they start the movie with an acid trip. And the acid trip lasts throughout. And it's the most accurate version of a trip I've ever seen on film.
Really?
Because things are just alive. Things are pulsating and moving and kind of integrating into everything. Yeah, it's great.
Sounds like an awesome movie.
It's intense. I would have liked to have seen it again, but like it's hard to fit in. A, it's hard to fit in a 2.5 hour movie.
Yeah.
And B, I had such a hard time finding showtimes.
Yeah, especially with
all the shit coming out.
Yeah, Lion King, Far From Home.
Yeah.
We kind of got washed over a little bit.
And Avengers is still doing a thing because they want more money.
They just took number 1 on a side note. Disney now owns the top 2 films of all time.
Do they still
without
adjust
inflation?
I was about to say, do they adjust for inflation?
No, but they even with inflation, Snow White's still number 1. So they
What, the original?
the original
Okay.
Snow White is still
Interesting.
number 1. I think it's at $3 billion or something like that, or some astronomical number.
I thought Avengers hit that.
No,
did they-
it's
or
at
did it-
2.8.
Okay. Oh,
It's literally
2.8.
it beat
Avatar.
Avatar by like $10 million.
Cool.
Yeah.
Avatar
Anyway.
sucked too.
Midsommar. Speaking of blockbusters in the middle of summer,
Yeah.
Midsommar.
It's not a blockbuster, unfortunately.
No.
A24 does this thing where they unintentionally misrepresent it in marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, It Comes at Night. People thought it was going to be a zombie movie. It's not. Hereditary. All this, like, they kind of, like, shoved the scariest parts they could into the movie, trying to make it seem like, I don't know what, but Hereditary didn't perform as well as it could have because of marketing. I think even It Follows had an issue with the way it was marketed.
Yeah. It seems like A24's horror films. You know, I use air quotes around horror because...
Oh no, their shit is horror.
Yeah. It doesn't get, like... Because they try to advertise it as something that it isn't, like you said.
Yeah, they're trying to get it towards, it's like your traditional jump scare, mindless bullshit.
Hey, here's another paranormal activity, but instead it's under A24.
Right. So it's gonna get a little weird. It's not a Blumhouse.
Yeah, I feel like they should almost just say what it is, because they have so many great dramas underneath their titles.
If they say what it is, then people won't go to see it.
Well, you can still leave out a lot. And still
You can, but
convey.
people need pizzazz. They need the slam bang excitement and draw.
I honestly, I'm at the point with A24 that if I see their studio on something,
Mm-hmm.
I know that I'm going in and it's going to be a thought-provoking type
So you're getting
film.
something satisfying out of it.
A good film.
Yeah.
Because they did 8th Grade, they did Moonlight, right? Which is an Academy Award winner.
Moonlight was great.
I haven't seen it. I think it's on Netflix now.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see
Watch
it. But they did Hereditary.
Mm-hmm. It Comes at Night. It Follows.
All these.
They've done. They're
fantastic,
quiet.
Good movies.
Yeah, they're quiet. Is the thing.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's not a Blumhouse. It's not a Disney Marvel thing. It's not Pixar.
No, it's A24,
Mhm.
an independent New York-based studio.
But yeah, what was that other? There was another trailer I saw that just kind of was a huge antithesis of how trailers should be. The new Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
Did you get to see that in front of Lion King?
No.
Okay.
No.
It's fucking bonkers. I don't know what the movie's about aside from it's got The Rock and Jason Statham. Idris Elba just comes up and just screams on Black Superman at people and beats the shit out of them.
Yeah.
There's cars and all this crazy shit, and then The Rock and his family of apparently just like Samoan Maori warriors fighting genetically super soldiers with spears.
Yep. Yeah.
And because I'm watching this trailer and I can feel brain cells dying because there's just so much happening, but at the same time, nothing is happening.
Yeah, that's Fast and Furious, and that,
Mhm.
like you said, it's like, it's about cars. You know that The Rock's in it,
You know it's dumb violence.
and you know there's going to be some Polynesian
Oh,
esque
I got
stuff.
when I saw Spider-Man, I got 2 trailers with The Rock.
Oh, did you get Jumanji?
Yeah, that looks awful. Like,
Yeah.
I thought the first one looked awful.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, and it's because of the name, Jumanji. And kids eat up Kevin Hart, so...
I don't get why. I don't get it.
I don't like him in movies. His stand-up's okay.
I don't like him as a person. He's just garbage.
Trash?
It's just shit.
Um,
Like, I'm so over The Rock.
He's big.
Great. He's still talentless and an idiot.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Back to Midsommar.
Yeah.
What would you give it out of 10? The Casey rating.
At first I wanted to give it a 9, but then I sat and thought about it for a couple days. I think it's got to be an 8.
What made you drop it down one?
It's like I said, as much as I love a slow burn, this was a little bit too slow burning, and it felt like because so many of the plot points had been telegraphed early in the film, and you see enough movies, you start to be able to read them pretty well.
Yeah.
This kind of was that. I just saw all the shit coming, so it felt like the slow burn didn't build towards as much. Or at least it didn't build towards what they wanted it to build towards.
Okay.
I wasn't disappointed in the slightest. I enjoyed every bit of it. But it still just didn't get to where it should have gotten as fast as it did.
It was a slow burn on a slide you've been on before.
More or less. Yeah.
That was just a little bit too long
Yeah.
of a slide.
Music was great. Score was really interesting. Very haunting. Everybody put in a good performance. Florence Pugh stole the show. What's his name? Will Poulter.
Mm-hmm.
If you've ever seen him, he was fun. He played... It's odd. He keeps playing like American douchebags. In a lot of his movies, he's some kind of American douchebag.
Typecasting.
Yeah,
It's fun.
but he's English.
It's a thing.
Yeah. But I would like to see it. I want to pick it up. I want to see this 3-hour director's cut. Because everything felt in its proper place. Nothing felt like it wasn't supposed to be there. It didn't feel like it meandered too long.
Yeah.
I want to see what that extra half hour will be.
Yeah, like, what could you have possibly taken out that, you thought
I don't know.
could fit into the movie?
No, you know what? Now that I think about it, there's like 1 or 2 sections that I would have liked a little bit more explanation, but it didn't need it.
Yeah, like, it made
Yeah,
sense.
like
You
there's
got the gist.
there's this whole extra bit where it's revealed that within the hamlet there's accepted and proposed coupling.
Okay.
Like you can't just go up to somebody and claim them. You have to like kind of try out for it in a way. And the question of inbreeding is brought up. Like, oh no, we don't inbreed. Cut to maybe 10-15 minutes later. We do occasionally allow inbreeding, and that's how we get oracles. Like, okay.
All right.
What? Huh?
Like, it almost makes it feel like it increases to crazy because there's no explanation.
Well, I get why they did that, because the kids are, most of the students that visit the hamlet are some kind of anthropology major.
Okay.
So this is just part of their thesis project, that sort of thing. And the one kid finds out about the inbreeding because he's kind of being respectful, but the whole time they're being led along or astray.
Yeah.
They're being fed information, but just like getting 2 different stories to 2 different characters. Just again, it's just that Lovecraftian uncertainty and unease.
Yeah.
Of just you don't know what's happening with your mind.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to go see it.
Yeah, it was great. I like a few story things aside. The slow burn issue. I enjoyed every bit of it. Go see it if you can. If it's still playing.
Hopefully it will be.
It won't, because Lion King and Spider-Man.
Lion King.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man was better than Lion King.
No, it wasn't.
It totally was. I would go see Spider-Man again, not the Lion King.
I cringed inside out at some parts.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Like, subscribe, share with your friends and family. Follow us on our social media. Facebook. Hey, we just reached 50 followers on Facebook. Who's gonna be the 51st? It took us at least 2 months to get that 50th follower.
Yeah.
But we did it.
We got it.
We did it. Follow us on Twitter. I've become more active on there now.
Tell us why we suck.
Please tweet us. Add us. Dude, at Struggle City 3, because I'm an idiot.
I'll hold the comment.
And then follow us on our Instagram, where we're pretty active. We're posting a lot of pictures, dogs, cats, memes,
Making of.
guinea pigs, our opinions. That all originates from Instagram, and then Spiderweb's out. But yeah, thanks for listening, guys.
Bye.